Hello. I think, let me just check this. I'm pretty sure that we are live now. Are we live? Ah, done. Oh, I think we are. Hang on. Let me just be sure. I think it's got to be working. If it's not, oh well. Okay, I'm Jane Frizzell. This is Steinbrecht Sessions, where every Tuesday at 3 o'clock we are examining line upon line, precept upon precept, the section in Steinbrecht where he spells out and explains and really gets into detail about the old horseman's adage, which was an adage before he started talking about it. He learned it from someone. He didn't invent it. Ride your horse forward and set it straight. And we have been going through each each part of how he's explaining all of this for quite some time now, but there's a reason why the masters of history all talk about ride your horse forward and set him straight. Now, Podolsky at the Spanish riding school, he has a different point of view. He says, ride your horse straight, set your horse straight and ride him forward. So there's no way around this. This is French, this is German, this is Austrian, Prussian, this is Iberian tradition. This is riding. There's no way out of this for anyone who really wants to know about riding. This is the starting place. This is what decent riding is. And I want to remind you guys that he said on page 71 when we began that anyone who what does he say? He called riding the horses forward and setting them straight. He calls these the two golden rules of riding. And he says, if these two golden rules are not observed due to ignorance or negligence, all of the faults that make a horse resistant and often even ruin it develop during training. Now, ruining can also be mental, emotional. So we can destroy a horse's body, but we can also drive them crazy or break their heart. So that is sort of what I'm going to talk about today, because I've been trying to, I mean, not hard, but I've been thinking about how to properly and responsibly address this next section. He's been talking about spurs. That's a trigger for most people. But what the spur is actually intended for, and the phase of the work that the spur allows us to explain things to the horses is so key, because it gives us, instead of pounding at them with our legs and or anything, we can just go, where's my little pencil? So see my pencil? See, it has an eraser. That's like about how my spurs are. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. Oh, make your hindquarters match each other in mechanics and effort. Oh, that's excellent. And I'm going to strictly supervise their tracks. Oh, you're a little wide there. Oopsie, centimeter wide. Come in. Oh, that's perfect, my darling. And guess what? The horses, when this has been explained to them with precision about how they must address the line of travel, it feels, it's connected with effort. Yes, it's a little hard, but it feels good to them. It makes sense in their athlete's mind. They're like, yeah, if I go like this, I'm going to be able to go easily. I'm going to be able to do anything, and it makes me look beautiful. So that is something, it's The spur is basically the gateway to trust and attachment. He says as much. I'm going to read the section that we're going to deal with today. This obedience of the horse, which is brought about initially by its respect of the spurs, is gradually converted into trust and attachment to its master, must be converted into trust and attachments to its master for the relationship between the two to be correct. This is accomplished if the rider, trained rider trainer, limits and refines his actions, the more the horse, through measured and gradually increased exercises, gains in ability and willingness to obey his aids. So he's talking about a systematic education of the horse to understand and follow the two golden rules of riding. The horse is going to say yes, because they actually are the most logical, wonderful things to make sense for the horse. And these measured and gradually increasing exercises, they are measured, relevant exercises that increase in difficulty successively, so that when something more, quote, difficult is introduced, the horse is like, that's familiar. Oh my God, I could do it. There's a progression in the training. And I do need to point out, I've said it before, but there's one really important reason why how the major trained me and his exercise manual that you can find. I don't have a cover here. I'll put a link in the description for new people. You can find it on Amazon. I don't publish it. It's Major Lindgren's exercise manual. His exercises for the rider who is trained in theory as well as performing the exercises, and you really got to be both to be an educated rider. Major Lindgren's exercises are essentially a workbook for Steinbrecht. The major's very first exercise, the oval, that about 24 of you are very apt in now. The very first statement at the very beginning of the book on the first exercise is ride your horse forward and set it straight, which is exactly what this is in Steinbrecht. So that is a really important point that I want to bring out, that we are told to limit our actions to these technical instructions according to the measured, relevant exercises. And if we do this, it works out fine. But we are now going into the very murky, brackish waters of bullshit that this next section, I know why he wrote it. He isn't wrong, but it has been hijacked as for moral superiority. I'm going to continue reading. If in overcoming resistance, the rider is always diligent to practice moderation and fairness in regard to the two golden rules and these measured, relevant, and gradually increasing exercises, he will not resort to unnecessarily hard punishments for impetuousness, nor will he make demands which exceed the rider's capabilities. He will not lose the horse's trust, even if he must perhaps be strict here and there. And we can be strict because we know the end game, and we know how to get there because we already know the exercises before we go in the arena, and we don't wander around going, I am morally superior and wonderful, and I have a heart for horses. We don't do that. We understand, we study, we pay attention, we discipline our own bodies so that we don't go off on crazy tangents. Now, I want to go back and say one thing, and if I sound a little strident, I am, because I'm tired of the internet crap of these, there are hundreds of these girls who think they ride better than I do. And they are completely untrained. They do not give a crap about how horses are put together and how they should go. And they will take what's coming up and wave it in my face and your face. So what I'm saying is that be aware out there online that moral sentiment does not overwhelm technical mastery, and it's replacing actual technical comprehension and skill. And there is nobody, if you go to the effort and trouble and pain to hold yourself to the standards spelled out herein, and then to hold yourself physically accountable during riding and training to conform to what is spelled out technically here for forward straight going on a line of travel, that is having a heart for a horse. That is loving a horse. Not showboating love for the horse and quoting the one paragraph among 300 pages where he is going to talk about, yeah, this is really important. Under a rider who has a heart for the animal, a rider who has a heart for the animal learns how they go and devotes themselves and conforms themselves to the system of training that has been successful for hundreds and hundreds, hundreds of years. And how they actually function is back to front through the triple responsibility, seat, leg, hand. And in any other case, these hypocrites and enemies to riding, really, who say that someone like me has no heart and I'm only stuck on technical things. What I say, and what I hope you will say to them also when you're out in public dealing with this stuff, is if you won't learn how a horse actually functions from back to front through the natural aid, seat, leg, hand, you are not a partner to horses. You are using Steinbrecht's and the other masters' reputation to justify your own neglect.